to Up Front. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Doing well, doing well.
Wow, so happy to have you all on the show. I'm talking to LaMar Baylor, who is an outstanding performer, currently performing in The Lion King on Broadway, and my good friend, my college buddy, Quentin Earl Darrington. You got all these names. On Broadway, Ragtime. You were most recently portraying Jesus on a very special BET special that was produced by TD Jakes. You also have a new show that is coming out that we'll be coming back to talk about as well. But you guys are part of a very special segment that I've been doing about COVID-19 and the entertainment community. It's titled "The Show Must Go On: Entertainment and COVID-19," and just talking to different entertainment professionals, artists, singers, dancers, performers who have all been impacted by COVID-19. So I'm going to start with you, LaMar. How has this personally, affected you? I mean, you basically had to stop everything.
I'm sad that I don't get a chance to perform every day. I don't perform every day either way. I'm a swing, but I do get the interaction of going to the theater. Actually, there's a show going on. I miss my castmates and the rest of my coworkers and colleagues. But I have been still teaching virtually online. I do artistic consulting for a nonprofit that operates in 5 different African countries and 1 European country. So I still do my work for them during the day. And yeah, I haven't seen my family though in a while. So unless it's via FaceTime or Zoom, I don't get a chance to interact or engage with them as much as I used to.
Right. And what about you, Quentin?
Personally affected, we're not getting that check. That's a big one. That's a huge one, especially when you have mouths to feed and families to support. But again, I thank God for my career, and even during this downtime of employment, this is a time when the artist has to dig deeper and realize that our purpose is, of course, not to necessarily get the check, but to heal lives and to help people. And we find ways, constantly. So that's exactly what I do, and that's what we have done. Like LaMar, I teach all over the place, all over the world, and it's been a blessing to see a resurgence of that again, more intimately. So the teaching is going full strong, writing a lot, creating my own material even more, my own projects that are soon to come. So we're digging deep with that with the team, and it's been fun. It's been a blessing to just be creative in this isolated way again. But again, it'll be really, really wonderful to get back to New York and get back to Broadway and get back to the shows and get back to TV film as well, which I hear is coming soon again.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was a big announcement last week that Broadway was looking to reopen its doors in September. For you, LaMar, you mentioned offline that Lion King may resume around the holiday season. And then for you, Quentin, you've got the big show, MJ the Musical, that is going to be coming out April of 2021. How comfortable are you guys right about now feeling, or how comfortable are you in getting back on stage? Do you feel confident in getting back on stage right now? Do you think that there have been enough safety guidelines and procedures put in place for you as performers to get back on stage?
In our conversation yesterday with our producers and things, I feel pretty confident that they are doing all that they can to make sure and ensure our safety, but not just ours, but also the audience members too. And so they have let us know, like the task forces that they have put together to make sure that everybody is okay. And they wanted to make sure that, that we are taken care of and that there are no slips through the cracks. So I understand and am patient that they will figure it out. Having a conversation yesterday definitely did put my heart and my mind at ease a little bit, knowing that they are really, really have our best interests at heart as the performers.
All right. And Quentin, what about you? Do you feel confident right now of getting back on stage?
I actually don't. I don't feel too confident right now. I know that our producers and our whole team takes care of us and goes the extra mile. For us, they already have. I mean, I've been working on MJ now for over a year, before we get to Broadway. And from day one, they have been absolutely wonderful and absolutely stellar. But we're not just talking about my producers and my company. We're talking about the world. We're talking about New York. We're talking about the government. We're talking about a lot of things and it's a lot of places and a lot of moves that need to be made for everybody to be safe. As much as I would love to get back on stage and love to perform, and I love to also be able to bless various audiences, I think it's a little short-sighted with being this August, this September, unless we have proper vaccinations and even proper more ways to keep everyone safe that we haven't seen yet or practiced or been put in place that have been tested. Once that happens, and it happens in a successful rate and way, in a smaller unit, in a smaller way as you kind of grow and see that progress, then I'll build that confidence and see that confidence. I'm an extremely patient man, and I believe God will have his way, and the right time will come. Listen, if September is that time and all of that stuff happens between now and September, great. But I just don't have confidence to see all of that happen so quickly. I really do believe it will happen by next year, possibly the spring, might even be later. But I just want everybody to be safe, especially my brothers and sisters in the arts. We need to be safe.
Yeah. Let's talk about faith and the things that you all have been doing during this time of quarantine that have kept you motivated, that have kept the creativity flowing. If we can, LaMar, can you share?
Yeah, I teach, and I get the chance to teach and see my students, and to know, like, they've been sitting in front of the computer all day. Like, virtual learning is their new normal, truly their new normal. But to see them engage and their faces when I get on the screen, I say, hi, such and such, or hi, such, and they are like, oh my God, like they're just so excited and they're beaming and ready to move and ready to sing and ready to actually like let their creativity and let their form of artistic expression like exist and thrive. And to know that I look forward to seeing them every weekend, and that I am offering them some type of healing as well as myself, I really, really do look forward to it. And I just keep sitting and imagining, like, like that this will all change again. And when it does, I feel like I'm going to be eager as ever to get my feet in some stilts.
Yay.
Yeah.
And what about for you, Quentin?
Man, Ray, I've been doing some of everything. I picked up a guitar. I don't know how to play guitar, but I'm teaching myself right now, and it's fun, and I'm enjoying it. Something I've always wanted to do, man. Brian McKnight better watch out. I'm teaching myself Spanish. I picked up painting. I bought myself some canvases. Something I'd never really done, but I said, you know what? I have the time. I ain't got to be nowhere. I'm going to sit and really express everything inside of me in new ways and new forms.
Yeah. There has been talk of possible, because of this virus and having to social distance. And when you think about theater, dance, those are the anti of social distancing. But how comfortable would you be with new technology, having more virtual theater, not necessarily having props on stage, but a huge screen as your set and your backdrop, which would decrease the number of people on stage. It would allow for more social distancing amongst the actors. Those are possible ways that we'll see theater in the future. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm not opposed to things evolving and changing, but there is something about the visions of how people wanted them to be. And, and while I do understand the need to be socially distant and everything, there are some things like my show. I mean, yes, we do have the movie version of it, or the movie versions of it, but there's something very great about the way it exists now. And I do believe that it is perfect in the way that it exists now. And if we have to change it, and if that is what is required, then so be it. I like it the way that it is, though. And, you know, but I do hope that virtual theater allows people to gain access to it who don't necessarily get that opportunity to. And so for that, I'm all about, by all means, yes, by all means, do what's necessary. But the production I'm a part of currently, I would like for it to stay the way that it is. Yeah.
Q.
Yeah, I completely agree with my brother. I'm kind of torn on this issue, but it's kind of a push and pull with progress and time. You know, we live in a very contemporary, modern age of technology, and theater can't avoid it. It's already hugely immersed in the way that we do shows today. And it's only going to progress as the years come. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, theater is going to look completely different. The live theatrical experience than today, just like 50 years ago, it was very, very different. Especially there's a kind of a fight between, well, not really a fight, but between producers and then the artisans. You know, that's a huge, the producers need to make the money, you know, to keep the thing going. So what do they want? They want a very small cast. They want a small budget. They don't, you know, they don't want to do all of the extra things, and technology provides that for them. Virtualizing everything. It happens in orchestras already today. Eventually, I envision them even having virtual actors in some kind of way, or virtual support in shows, whether it be the sound, the movement of the show. When it comes to the set, like you said, a lot of it will be projections and all those things, hologram. All of that stuff is going to come into play years down the road. The great part about that is that you can have more things that stretch the imagination and cost less. The bad part about that is that a lot of us artists will be out of work. A lot of us artists, the artistic nature of the organic piece will begin to diminish. It's kind of like kids now walking around. LaMar, you know, you teach just like me. They here all day. You know what I'm saying? They here in the phone all day. In the phone. Yeah, put the phone down, right? Put the phone down and experience real life, because there is no substitute for real life. There's no substitute for real connection with real people. And it's the same thing with the theater. There's no substitute for it. So economically, the economics of it all, financially, I get it. But it's good and bad. But Ray, to answer your question, I do see it happening more where technology comes more into play, and smaller to cut costs and to help with distancing and so much. A lot of producers are like, oh, check, we can do this. But, you know, for us as artists, I'm like LaMar, I'd rather keep things to where the actual actors are on stage, in the building, hands-on with the people.
Yeah. Well, guys, again, thank you so very much. Continue to stay safe, and we'll see how things go.
Likewise. Thank you.
God bless you, Ray.